There's no one around, it's first thing in the morning, and the weather is just absolutely fabulous. We also happen to be on one of the very best roads in Wales, and most importantly, we've got this, the new Aston Martin Vanquish. Now, I'll forgive you for being a bit confused about this car. We've got the DB9, the DBS, the Virage, and now this, the Vanquish, and they're all based on a 2004 design and all look pretty similar. So here's what you need to know. The DB9 has been refreshed, the Virage and the DBS have been killed, and that leaves this, the Vanquish, sitting at the top of the range, £190,000. Obviously this car is just bite your lip gorgeous, it is stunning, and you know, it sounds lovely. Astons have always been about the sound, and it sounds absolutely amazing. It is a familiar recipe. It's a 6-litre V12 sitting up front with 565 brake horsepower, and it sends that all to the rear wheels via a 6-speed automatic gearbox. But despite it all feeling quite familiar, there are some pretty big differences, not least that the traditional aluminium structure of this car is now completely skinned in carbon fibre, so everything you see, all the painted surfaces, that's all carbon. The interior has been redesigned. It's lovely in here. We've got this sloping dash as ever, but all the centre bit has been reconfigured. It's much more intuitive. It's a beautiful piece of work. So 565 brake horsepower. I know that sounds a huge amount, and it is compared to most cars. It's a lot. But we've got to remember today that the M5 produces pretty much that power, and things like the Ferrari F12, they've gone way ahead with 730 brake horsepower. So that means that while this car is a quick car and it does feel fast, the Ferrari F12 completely blows it out of the water in terms of performance. What I really like about this car though is the way it works as a package, the gearbox and the engine and everything. Actually, it does feel like a cohesive whole. There's not one element that jars. It all feels very, very nicely balanced. And let's not forget, it is really, really good fun to drive. You can chuck it into a corner and feel the front tyres kind of where they're gripping, and use the throttle to kind of squeeze the rear out a little bit. It's a great car, and really, and I mean this as a compliment, it's more towards how Jag set up their car, I think, than Astons perhaps have been in the past. Would I buy this car? You know, I don't think I would. I think I would buy the Ferrari F12. I would spend the extra 50 grand, which I don't have, but I presume if you're looking at this end of the market, you do. I'd get the Ferrari F12, but I think there are some really interesting questions raised by this car. I think as a package, as a sports GT, it holds together really well. It looks fabulous without being too in your face. The interior is gorgeous. The drive is really special. There's nothing wrong with the drive. You know, when you're driving around, and even when you're going quite quickly, it's a lovely car. When you get to the top end of that performance, is it as satisfying as it could be? I don't think it is. I think there's room there for something more focused, something more special, and that is where the Ferrari beats it as far as I'm concerned. The Ferrari does the GT stuff too, but when you turn it up, it steps up with you, and it's there. The Aston, it's still great, it's still fabulous to drive hard, but it just doesn't quite have that extra edge of the Ferrari.